Now into other activities of the day, the NRM Vice Chairman for Buganda Region, Godfrey Chiwanda, has assured Muslims of government's commitment of unity in diversity and freedom of worship. Chiwanda was meeting with a delegation of Muslim leaders from Luwero Muslim District at the NRM party headquarters on Chadondo Road here in Kampala. We do apologize for that technical hitch. More updates will be coming your later on during news tonight. Now, in other updates, as far as lunchtime news is concerned, two Subiranya Veterans Association members from the Greater Luwero District, including Nakaseke and Nakasongola, have met to brainstorm on how they can get reward for efforts during the NRA Liberation War. Over 300 men and women, including widows and the children, gathered at Luwero District headquarters and met several resolutions.
Enga tulina obulumi ati twemanyi nebula ogenda ko gamba nti bana nange nalwana aga nti amwekunganye tunekunganya banafe bafa bagwawo tuli bubi mu mbeera efaana bwetu batusekerera katula ndi muyero naye bwe bagira nti mwe mwaleeta ekintu kyammwe mwabike nakyo naye tunayabika nga ddala twabikira bwerere.
Those are the voices of former National Resistance Army fighters. They are seeking President Yoweri Museveni's intervention for alleged non-payment for their efforts in form of compensation and gratuity. Many of these Nya veterans are still active NRM party mobilizers and are optimistic their reward and equitable treatment will come.
UBC Lunchtime News. The Assistant Commissioner Health Services in charge of malaria control at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Jimmy Opingo, has revealed a new response to end malaria epidemic in 17 districts through indoor residue spraying and distribution of mosquito nets. The exercise will take close to 2 months and will involve 3 interventions to clear parasites, kill mosquitoes and have barriers for mosquitoes not to reach people.
Malaria remains a major public health concern globally, especially in Africa, where it counts for about 95% of the deaths globally. It is against this backdrop that the Ministry of Health has come up with new response to tackle the epidemic in the most affected districts of Uganda.
Starting this weekend, we are going to spray all homes, and this time with the chemical which used to work very well. As you know, this epidemic partly happened because the chemical we have used in the last 2 years has not performed very well for various reasons. So we have reversed it. We are using a more effective and more acceptable chemical to the community.
More than 17 districts are to benefit from the indoor residue spraying and distribution of treated mosquito nets.
Spraying in 8 districts. They are Palisa, Kibuku, Bodak, Masaka, Namutumba, Bogiri, but there are other districts for the first wave of mosquito nets, up to 17 districts, including some which are not receiving residual indoor spraying, okay, in Busoga and a few in Bunyoro, including Kakumiro and Kibale.
Indoor residual spraying is one of the key interventions recommended by the World Health Organization in preventing malaria infection, but is a very expensive exercise.
For these 8 districts, residual indoor spraying alone is going to cost over $15 million. We have received most of the support from the US government through USAID and implemented by ABT Vector Links. Mosquito nets altogether are going to inject up to $120 million for all over the country.
Dr. Opigo also noted that the government will start the implementation of malaria vaccine at the end of 2023. This will strengthen the efforts to prevent, control and eliminate transmission of malaria in Uganda.
Uganda has been allocated about 1 million. Just you remember how the COVID vaccine was rationed, and as a result, the eligibility, the most at-risk people are going to be prioritized. We have prioritized a new birth cohort, so it's not going to be available to everybody. And we have targeted areas where there's a lot of severe malaria and malaria deaths. So we hope to protect up to 300,000 children per year. So we'd like to use the opportunity to introduce the vaccine, strengthen the systems, get community acceptance of it. But we expect a very good community acceptance, people actually demanding it. A malaria vaccine has been long overdue.
Zahara Abigaba, UBC News.
Now, still to do with health talks, dental disease is one of the causes of death in Uganda. Now, according to statistics, some 80% of children in Uganda have tooth decay. It is not only the children, the adults equally pay less attention to dental health.
Dental health is often neglected by majority of the population and has contributed to the global burden of oral diseases. It is common among children to find those with tooth decay since parents pay little attention. Dentists recommend proper cleaning of one's teeth, but few pay attention to detail, while others don't even bother.
Because more people are getting more aware about dental health care and the impact poor oral health has on the entire body. So the more people get to know, the more they become responsive to dental health care. I remember a few years ago, whenever people had dental problems, they would go for an extraction, remove the tooth. But what we're seeing now is different. People come and ask for alternatives that fix teeth. They no longer go for extraction.
Health experts say dental diseases result in 2 other illnesses, once neglected for long.
Oral health or dental health goes beyond the mouth. So people should know that if you have a healthy mouth, your whole body is healthy, because the mouth is the entry to the body. Okay. So neglected oral health would actually lead to more other health problems. For example, there's been research linking premature birth, low birth weight to gum disease.
Research indicates that many people lack knowledge about dental checkups and treatment options, with rural population most at risk. Dr. Kalinge says that emphasis should be put on children in schools so that they can be able to get basic understanding of oral hygiene and dental diseases, thereby curbing future threats and deaths that would result from dental diseases. Max Dental Clinic has stretched its arms with another branch at Nakasero. Max Dental Clinic not only focuses on treatment, but also on awareness, utilization and barriers to seeking oral health care among Ugandans.
It's unique. Now as dentists, there are times when
Well, good to know you're still a part of this newscast. Shortly after these messages, I do return with business, and we'll be taking you through what MulChoice has in store for the creatives out there and how they can tap in this particular industry. Do stay with us.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly and 100% double data on all weekly and monthly bundles for 3 months. Get one today while stock lasts from the nearest Airtel shop. With Airtel, the smartphone network.
Good to know you're still following. Now on to business updates this Saturday. With the growing need and interest for social media, our content creators are advised to take a keen interest in how they are perceived and portrayed online. This was during the MulChoice Uganda's ongoing training workshops as part of Pearl Magic Prime's 2nd anniversary celebrations. The trainings have been ongoing, and this recent one was held at UCC. And of course, they'll be winding up their final workshop that is on the 28th of this very month at UICT. Let's have more of this.
And we believe that from where we sit, it is important that we help support and train content creators on how best to protect what they create, so that they are able to still be able to have it commercialized, so that they gain from it. This is a business that is costly in a sense, and so it's very unfair when a content creator puts out their work and other people are using it without them getting their what are some of the things that they need to do to help protect their content or creative works so that at the end of the day they are able to gain value?
Every work that is creating content, the one thing that motivates content creator is the economic rights. Now the economic rights create what we call a business incentive. That I wake up one day, I go to office, I go wherever I go to make money. So I cannot compose a song for the sake of just for it to remain in my house. Because the song that goes out, people listen to it, download, and every download should translate to money. So because of that, the law divides the rights of the corporate owner or content owner into two. If you have no rights, they will mention the name. The economic rights, now that's where you can even go to a bank, depending on the value of your work. You have a local symbol whereby you can go and actually convince the financial institution that I have my work, it's valued within a problem, 10 M, can give me such a returns. Or you can assign. Assigning is where you sell your economic right to another person.
I think people are reluctant to go for registration of copyright because it is a knowledge and information gap. Everyone believes the process are complicated, so we have come out today to try and show them the process and how easy it is and the procedures you can go to get the copyright registered. And the fines are dependent on whether you're a licensed broadcaster, but also on the prayers.
More business talk this Saturday. Minister of State for Local Government Victoria Rusoke has urged government implementing partners and agencies to embark on community sensitization and popularization of the services they offer. The minister made the remarks at the Microfinance Support Center for portal officers during a monitoring and evaluation program, where it was noted that the electorate was not aware of government programs.
Minister Victoria Rusoke has appreciated Microfinance Support Center for offering affordable financial services to small micro enterprises in Uganda.
Tell us who is defaulting, tell us who is not improving, tell us how things are moving, so that one day you also write in a paper and schedule it in the cabinet and tell cabinet what you are doing, what's happening. We need each other, we need government support. We need appreciation. We need to attract people to come and learn from us and also learn from them.
Ms. Rusoke echoed the need to engage local leaders in government programs for easy mobilization of beneficiaries.
We have wished to see your focus, yes, on funding groups, but your future target on arriving at value addition. Involvement of local leaders. Each time we hold councils, when I'm president, I always ask for reports from other projects that are not basically government funded. Projects funded by NGOs, but if you may wish maybe to check and prove, we never get these reports in our council meetings.
She asked Microfinance Support Center to focus on funding projects that are viable to the community in which they operate.
Example of a biogas project in Kasenda, biogas. This was heavy duty, supposed to supply about 3 villages, including a very heavily populated secondary school of about 800 students. And in Kasenda, yes, you can record St. Paul's SS and the surrounding. This biogas was supposed to support or to supply. Now, when I requested for information about what is necessary to make this biogas run, I was told you may need about not less than 100 kilograms of cow dung, either bi-weekly or weekly.
Minister Rusoke, together with officials from the Microfinance Support Center, visited Geme Agekain Farmers Group that is focusing on banana production, as well as Kabarore Dairies Farm. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Let me just send.
Yes.
Oh. Accessing your contacts the old way.
Yeah.
Accessing your contacts with the My Airtel app. You have the power in your pocket. The power to access your favorite contacts right through the app. Unlock that power with the My Airtel app. Visit the App Store or Google Play now.
Welcome back. Pleasure to have your company once again. Now, international updates coming through are taking you to Nigeria. A total of 87.2 million people are expected to participate in the Nigerian presidential elections. Also to be voted are 109 federal senators and 360 members of the House of Representatives, with the vote for governors taking place in March. Overall, inflation in 2022 stood at just under 19%, the highest in 2 decades. For the presidential ballot, voters will have a choice of 18 candidates to choose from, but there are 3 top contenders who have dominated the campaign trail. These are Bola Tinubu for APC, Atiku Abubakar for PDP, and Peter Obi for Labour Party. Now, more international updates taking you to Russia. The EU adopted the 10th round of sanctions against Russia on Friday night. A disagreement between Polish and Italian officials held up the deal. The European Union agreed to a new round of sanctions against Russia on Friday on the first anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The package is the 10th to be adopted by the EU member states. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen had promised Ukrainian President Zelensky during her visit to Kyiv early this month that the EU would aim to have the 10th package of sanctions in place by the 1-year mark of Russia's invasions. New sanctions target entities supporting war, spreading Russian propaganda. Sweden, which took over the rotating presidency of the Council of the EU at the beginning of the year, said the new measures targeted restricted measures against individuals and entities supporting the war, spreading propaganda or delivering drones used by Russia in the war. EU diplomats had agreed on nearly all points of the new proposed package, but Polish Prime Minister Matsasi criticized it as being too soft, too weak, while on a visit to the Ukrainian capital Kyiv on Friday.
Although the EU Lithuanian President Italy was keen on a return of the pressure on Russia to mark the anniversary.
Now, more updates still on the international scene. I will take you to China. Over the past year, leaders in the West have tried to cajole China to help them end the Ukrainian war. Now, Beijing has given its firmest response yet, and it's not something many in the West would like. In recent days, China has launched an assertive charm offensive, kicking off with top diplomat Wang Yin's tour of Europe, which culminated in a warm welcome by Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. Beijing has released not one but 2 position papers, the first offering the Chinese solution to the war and the other outlining a plan for world peace. These largely retrend China's talking points from the past year, calling for respect for sovereignty and the protection of national security interests while opposing the use of unilateral sanctions. The West may come away unimpressed, but convincing them was never likely the main goal for Beijing. Firstly, it clearly seeks to position itself as a global peacemaker. An obvious clue about who it's really trying to charm lies in one of its papers, where it mentions engaging Southeast Asia, Africa, and South America, the so-called Global South. In preaching an alternative vision to a US-led world order, it is wooing the rest of the globe, which is watching to see how the West handles the Ukraine crisis. Well, that's all we had time for this particular newscast. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. And you choosing the national broadcaster, you make us proud. Well, more updates will be coming your way later on in our timely news hours of the day during News Tonight and Swahili, of course. Not forgetting Luganda Bulletin that comes your way at 7 p.m. My name is Sandrah Kahunde. Salute to the team behind the scene that was led on ground by Habimana Deo. Have a lovely Saturday.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Get the most affordable 4G smartphone in Uganda from Airtel. Now heavily discounted from 250,000 shillings to 150,000 shillings only. Yes! 150,000 shillings only to keep you connected to your loved ones.
Dial *175*94# to activate free 1 GB instantly